Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you've just tuned in and wondering what the hell is going on, I'm doing a test this morning. That is my kitchen, such as it is. You can't see me because I'm not there. I'm here. That's the kitchen. What I need to do is run a microphone into the kitchen because I'm trying to get the webcam, second camera in my kitchen, which is there, and I am aiming to run a lead into the kitchen. This is a test. If you've just joined me and you think, what the hell is this about? It's a test. Because I was thinking of doing a live when I make my bread in the afternoon when I've lit the essie. And then when I've lit the essie, got it up to temperature, I could make my... I'm going to prove the bread, which I might do this morning. Not prove it, mix it up, which I may do shortly. Then I need to leave it. And then I can... get it ready for this evening where I bake it live on the show. So it's all kind of live. See what I mean? But I just need to disappear. Under my desk, as you can see, hello, greetings from, because I have a separate microphone here, which the plan is to set up and just test it in the kitchen, which I shall do. Now, I don't know, I'm just going to just swap, take that one now up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you should be able to hear that. Okay, I've no idea what the volume is going to be like. I'm just going to run this into the kitchen. And now you should be able to see me. I can't see the comments as yet. I'm just wondering where to put the microphone. Kind of do that. I imagine that will work. You can see the wire. I can hide all the wire. This is just a test, and the picture is over there. What I need to do is then bring in a laptop so I can see the feed. I won't be able to see the feed at the time of recording, but I'll be able to see it when you see it in the delay, if that makes sense. And then I can do the mixing of my bread making. I've got the ingredients now. We've got some yeast. Oh, I'm looking at the microphone. Got some yeast. I have a baking tray. I've got the flour and all the other bits, and I'm just going to sort of mix it up and do that. And then in the show this evening, one can bake the thing once I've lit the essie. So this is really just a way of doing some stuff to keep people amused and entertained as much, but I have no idea how much this is working. What am I trying to do now? Oh yes, I guess set up a laptop to see if I can read the comments. So that's the next thing. So of course I didn't take the camera around, did I? This is where the test becomes a little stupid. Yes, forgot to move the camera around. But anyway, the camera's around now. So yeah, I was just saying I've got the microphone lashed up here. I've got some yeast, a baking tray, flour and bits and pieces. I've got to sort out how I'm going to do this, where I'm going to position the camera. I could put it on a tripod facing this way. Bring this table out here, put a laptop somewhere, and then I can read the comments. So I'm just going to get my laptop now. So bear with me. Flour and bits and pieces. I've got to sort out how I'm going to do this. Where right, for the sake of the argument. Now, the other option is, of course, checking the laptop might be tricky if I've got my hands full of flour and what have you. So it may be that I get a lovely Julia on the phone and she can read. Oh, hang on, how do I get the phone into the system? Oh yes, I can have the phone, which is in the system in that room. Yes. And how does she hear me? How do I hear her? I can't hear her because I won't have headphones. Oh yes, that won't work. Unless I have an extension lead for the headphones. Which I might have. So let me just see if I can get my laptop to work. Always trying to find ways to entertain and amuse. I'm just going to lower this a bit there. Hopefully that's maybe a bit better. This is all a bit mad, isn't it, really? But hey, we're in mad days. Right. So I've got the funny. I've got to actually find the Vobes show now to find. It's a shame I can't get a feed from over there to here. I don't know how you would do that. So I go on YouTube and search for. Oh, here we go. Test transmission. There it is. How extraordinary. Right. Better turn the sound down. Oh yeah, so there we go. There's me. There's you lot. Can I can pop out the chat. And I wonder if I can. So I'll put this on a tripod somewhere. Maybe do that. It'd be good to get the text a little bigger. Oh right, hello. Afternoon Mayed, afternoon Lara, afternoon Mark Selwood. I am amused, always interesting watching Richard overcome problems. This is great, says Andy Frierson. I can put a light in here which would brighten everything up a bit. I've been directing shows with loads of remote feeds, mainly with Zoom. It's been challenging. Yes, I bet. Time zones, it's 20:50 Monday evening in Sydney. Oh yes, you've already had your Monday, of course. Watching Richard is always entertaining. Yeah, well, of course. I have the appropriate garb, you understand? This here. So yeah, that will work. So I can shunt the table. I was thinking of shunting the table here. Put the camera on a tripod over there. Mixing bowl. I can still can kind of do it. I don't think it's going to take terribly long because I'm just going to waffle about the ingredients and mix it up and what have you. The camera quality isn't great, but if I put a light on it would be better. So yeah, that will work. So I can shunt the table. I think shunting the table here. Sorry, getting a bit of feedback here, so I'm just listening to. Where's the volume on this? I can kind of do it. I don't think it's going to take terribly long because I'm just going to waffle about the ingredients and mix it up and what have you. Okay. I can pause my viewing of it, which will save my internet. Hide that for a minute. Naked chef later, says Laura Riddle. I don't know about that. I thought maybe because it's now 3:50 a.m. everything just suddenly became slightly silly at the time. Make me a coffee, 1 sugar and milk please. Well, I can do that. I can make a coffee. You'll have to come and pick it up. Jim Hook LOL. Where's the chef's hat? Oh, for goodness sake. I do not have a chef's hat. I used to do comedy chefs years ago in the dressing up box, but I don't think I've got one now, and I don't think I'll be able to find one. We are all on the dining room table, slightly crowded, but he will make us some lunch. Well, at least this works. Okay. So I am going to just work out. Oh blimey! It's 12 o'clock now. Christ, where does the time go? So I thought I would. The plan was to do the Vobes show live, making up showing the mixing and what have you of the bread, and then that will be its own little file. Then tonight at 8 o'clock, the Essie would be lit. The Essie's not lit at the moment. I bought myself a pair of socks, by the way. Boot socks, everyday fresh. Apparently you don't need to wash them because they're fresh every day. So then I'd mix up the thing, put it into a paste, show you that, bit of chatter, diddly do, half an hour, that's all really. Stick a light on, and then we go off air, disappear. I'll go and do some editing this afternoon for tomorrow's morning video for the Board Explorer, and then we come back at 8 o'clock. Essie's lit. I can come in here, show you the proven bread, show how it's risen, hopefully, fingers crossed. It's not as warm today as it was the other days we've had, so hopefully it will rise. Maybe I'll light the Essie a bit earlier and keep it, somewhere up. I haven't got any shelves up here, but I could, keep it nearby the Essie so it keeps warm. And then it will be placed in here, go in here and hopefully go like that. Then that goes into the Essie, and then we go back and do the show. We play some videos, we have a chat and all that kind of malarkey, and then however long it is, 45 minutes or so, we come back in here, big reveal, and here's the bread. A lot of work for very little, but what else are we going to do? So that's the plan. Isn't a baker's hat different to a chef's hat? Oh, it could be. What else have we got here? Mark Silver says, my sound is never synced with the video on the computer. We're all in a dining room. Ooh, what's occurring? So in essence, this is sort of potentially could work again. So I don't know if it's all synced up. I haven't really, but I can look at this back in a minute before I delete it, and then we'll do it again. So I guess give me half an hour, because I better make up the bread fairly soon. Otherwise it's not going to be ready by 8 o'clock. And then we'll cook it. So it's half past now. It's a webcam rather than the Gucci cam. Yeah, but a focus hunting. Is it focus? Well, I can turn that off. I can turn the focus off. I mean, unfortunately, the control room is in the other room. So I'm in the kitchen, as you can see. But I can turn the focusing off. Is it really badly focusing? Hang on, let's see if I can turn that off. If I come back in here, I can turn the focusing off. The lighting is what's missing? Oh, that light's not on. That's why it's so grim in here. This was actually supposed to be just a test, you understand? Is that, oh, wait a minute. That microphone is on, is it? Oh yeah, there we are. Webcam, hang on, let's go into the webcam properties. Configure. Camera control, focus, auto. Let's turn that off, apply. Right, okay, so the webcam is no longer focusing. So that's done. It's amazing, 21 people are watching whilst I just do rubbish. Okay. I'm going to adjust all my professionalism. All my professionalism has gone out the window, ladies and gentlemen. It's gone out the window. So the plan, I'm going to put a light in the kitchen, just tidy a few things up, and in about half an hour again, I'll go live, do the bread making, which will be about half an hour. That's that. Then I will have lunch. I will edit up tomorrow's video, and then probably later on I'll light the Essie, get it nice and warm, and at 8 o'clock we'll do the thing. How does that sound? It hunts about 10 seconds. Okay. Worldwide watching. Yeah, so it shouldn't hunt now. Let me just go back and tell me if the camera is hunting. It shouldn't hunt now. I just put the microphone back on in the kitchen. There's the kitchen just going in there. So it's fixed. So I don't know if I'm in focus now, but obviously if I come up here like that, I'm going to be out of focus because I think it's fixed for the mid-distance. But this is probably the main working area. I won't be able to do close-ups and things like that because I've only got the one camera coming in here. We're very lucky to manage to do that. Sounds like a good plan. It's not rubbish, which is it's entertaining. Oh, it's entertaining. Excellent. Well, okay, so I'll stop this stream now, sort myself out with a light, or I could just do this now, because you're all watching now, it doesn't really matter. I suppose I could just watch me get everything together. Might as well just do that, because it's only going to take a few minutes to sort it all out. Really. Okay, so shall we just leave it as it is? Shall we just carry on? We may as well. I'm just going to make the bread. So I'm just going to get a light. So we'll see if that makes any difference. Bear with me, caller. Now back in here. This is sort of like behind the scenes, isn't it? At the same time as you get to see everything. This was not my intention to do it this way. But one of these has got a light in it. I'm using one of these newer lights. I'll have to warn my son Billy when he comes down that we're live. Is this the rehearsal? You know, this is no longer the rehearsal. This is now the real thing. Because I'm only going to mix up the bread. I mean, what's the point of stopping? But I may as well just try and improve the quality of the situation. Where the hell am I going to plug this in? The only place I've got is... Oh no, I can plug it in down there. Yeah, that's right. So whenever you see in the Bald Explorer shots of me at home or in the kitchen, generally in the videos, you know, the edited videos, I'm using lights to simulate real light. I tend not to use available light much now because it's so much better to use proper lights. But you've got to... I'm only going to use one light here, but normally I would at least use two, sometimes three, to correctly light. I'll use the window as my main light source. So there's a strip light here. I've got a window over there. So this light will emulate the window really, although it's probably going to actually also do a bit of fill light. So it's actually going to come off. I'll probably find it over there. Now I've plugged it in. What you shouldn't do is stick that in your mouth. Just so you know. Which I'm sure you did know. No, there's no way of knowing if this has made any difference. Because the trouble with the webcam, it's on auto exposure, and unless I change it, but that might just light me up a bit. It's sort of kind of coming from where that thing is. I suppose I can check on here. Let's have a look. See what difference that's made, if any. Just waiting for it to catch up. Oh, that really is behind. How do you catch up with a... Oh, there it is. I don't think that's made the slightest difference. What's the audio like? Here. Let's have a look. Okay. See what difference that's made, if any. Oh, I'm so boring, aren't I, when I'm not performing? Right, so I guess the camera may as well stay there. Trouble is, I am ever the showman. My little induction hob for when I'm not using the SE, which is usually most of the day. All this stuff can go somewhere. Some enchanted evening, you will see a stranger. Don't do that. That can hurt. Right. Train coming through? Oh no. It's just the... Don't want to do that with a bad back. Apparently. Right. Shove that over there. I can see you. You can see me. Right. Perfectly clean. He lies glibly. I'd like to improve the position of the microphone because it's just off message there. But I could get a mic stand. It all seems a little bit dark. Wait a minute. Back in here now. Yeah, the microphone stand is right over there. So I have another one over here. That's just going to be a nuisance. What's in here, you wonder? That is some flour. Now, I can't remember what we need. I can't remember what we need to do this. Let's have a look. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I'm a bit distant. Okay, where's the chat? I can pause that for a minute and I can open that. My dear old mum's microwave to the right. Yes, it is. It is very true. Right. Okay, sorry about the delay in all of this. I was not intending, this was only supposed to be, only supposed to blow the doors off. Right, got this. We want water. I can't, where's my phone? My phone has got the recipe on it. Oh, fiddle farts. And here is the secret of bread making, ladies and gentlemen. The secret of bread making, care of Mark Donny MacLeod. Right, so I've just got to find the menu. Not the menu, the recipe. I sent it by email to myself. Here we go, bread. Right, this is what you need, ladies and gentlemen. 3 cups of flour, all-purpose, half a tablespoon of dried yeast. What have I done with the dried yeast? Is it behind the laptop here? Here it is. Okay, half a tablespoon of sugar. Sugar. 50 millilitres of oil. And 175 millilitres of cool fresh water. 10 millimeters of salt. Okay. I'm going to wash my hands before I start because I have been touching various surfaces. La 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 la. Mike Dixon, exciting stuff for the Easter bank holiday. Yes, Mark Selwood. I think I need to crack open another Easter egg. Thank God for Cadbury's. MDM is not worth it watching at the moment. Good afternoon, says Charlie Cooper. Is this live? Yes. Oh, Yes, sorry, Dean Cooper. Beg your pardon, it is live. Laura, it's live. Yes, it was a test. It was just a test, but it turns out that I'm actually doing what I'm saying I'm doing. So, what I've done, now let me just explain. We had some stone ground stone ground flour, and it's 3 cups. And yesterday I was intending to do this yesterday to prove up the cake and then cook it on the show, but I didn't have any yeast. So I've now got some yeast, which we're going to try. And so what I did, I put 2 cups of the stone ground ginger and 1 cup the stone ground flour and 1 cup of ordinary flour. They're all plain flour. I didn't want it to make it too stone ground flour, so that I just thought it would just even it up a bit, which could be quite fun. So I put those already into a mixing bowl. Now, Mark Donny McLeod, who gave me the recipe and actually gave me the video to help me to do this, showed me you've got to use your fingers for all this. And he says, add all the dry stuff and then add the wet stuff. So I can't remember what we've got here. 3 cups have done that. Half a tablespoon of the yeast, half a tablespoon of the sugar, 50 milliliter of the oil. 50 milliliter of the oil. Okay, and 175 and 10 milligrams of salt. Okay, so I don't know what 10 milligrams of salt looks like. I don't know how much 10 milligrams. I can't really measure milligrams. So I've just shoved in a little bit of salt, probably too much. The yeast is in here. Half a tablespoon, teaspoon, tablespoon, tablespoon. I don't know what the official measurement of a tablespoon is, but we just want half of this. Chuck a bit more in, there we are. Look. It can only go wrong. It can only go wrong. Right, half of one of those. Still, that would be excessive amount of ginger. Yes, it would be an excessive amount of it. Half a tablespoon of sugar. Something like that. Right, that's all the dry stuff. Now I just got to mix that round with the fingers. Apparently that's the most important bit, mixing it round with the fingers. I hope you can see all this. I would rather have had an overhead camera to cut into so you could see my angle, and a camera on the left. It would have been good, but this is, you know, this is live, impromptu, bank holiday. Let's give it a whirl, see what happens, and if anybody happens to tune in, then that's absolutely marvellous. Right, okay, so I think that's that bit done. Right, what else do we need? 50 millilitres. I assume that's in millilitres, isn't it? Oh yeah, 50 ml of that. It's going to be hard to measure this. It's not very much. How am I going to see? That looks about right. Hang on a minute. I think that's about right. Right, combine the dry ingredients in the bowl, large enough to do that. When the ingredients are combined, add the wet oil, then water, then work together with your hands until you have a firm, springy dough. Okay. What I might just do is roll my sleeves up. He's not using proper measuring tools. It could only go wrong. It's a statement that was not true. Yes. I've not made homemade bread for a long time. Not as easy as it looks, says Mike Dixon. Why am I thinking the Swedish chef from the Muppets? I don't know. I do not know. Right, so I'm mixing this in. Add the oil first, he said. I'm mixing the oil in. Not really doing a great deal, but using one's hands, as they say. Hands that do dishes makes all your little wishes mild green, fairy dinkum. Right. What was the other one? 175 of cool fresh water. What would have been handy is if I'd measured that out beforehand. Because my hand is covered in... No, my hand is covered in stuff. Right. Not to worry. We can do this. This is internet television, ladies and gentlemen. 175, which is roughly there. Is that about 175? That's not far off. Cool fresh water out of the tap. Let's have a look. I reckon that's about 175. I can't really see it too well, but we'll see how it goes. La da da dee da da dee. I'm actually pouring more onto my hand than into the bowl. La da da da. What's to do that? Jim, I thought the same thing as he put the apron on. What's that? If, of course, you would have viewers, Richard. We're all just waiting for tomorrow's strongest man. Oh, are we? Oh, hang on. My laptop nearly went to sleep then. So yeah, this isn't as easy as it sounds when you're doing it live in front of an audience you can't see, who are incredibly critical and who probably know a lot more about it than I do. But hey, we do have a funny little shape of stuff here. It's coming on. Of course, it's a wholemeal flour, so it's quite thick with the husk and stuff, which is why I did it 2 to 1, but I may do it 1 to 2 next time. 1 of stone ground and 2 of plain. Sounds like Billy and Sharif are up. Now, I don't know whether I want to put any more water in there, because that does seem quite watery. Hello, Bill.
Oh, where's the camera?
Camera is just here. Microphone is there. This is my son Billy, who's...
It's just coming in to grab a bag.
Oh, are you going shopping?
Yes, we're going out to Morrison's quickly.
Oh, right. I'm making some bread.
Ooh, very nice. Looks like a brain.
It is a brain. It's my brain.
It's a brain.
I think I've got enough water in there. I don't want to make it too watery. No, I'm all right. I went to Morrison's earlier, actually.
No.
So we have the brain. We have the brain and the bread. That seems very. Let's see what we're supposed to get to. What have we got here? Charles says he's busy making bread, not taking requests. Oh yeah, that's right. That was a new one on me. MDM told him to use cold water instead of warm water. My hubby said, oh yes, actually, that was something else he said. Put the water in the fridge. I forgot. Well, it has come out the tap, so it's not room temperature. My hubby just said it's the Baldy Baker show. It certainly is. Hi, Billy. Hi, Billy. I love your household. Where is the bill? There's a way. Thank God for Billy getting up. Makes me feel less lazy. Richard needs the dough in more ways than one. He does. He does need the dough. If you would like to care to donate, just check out the Bald Explorer, and you'll find the links there. Right, so far, when the dried ingredients are combined, add the wet to them, then the oil, and work together with your hands until you have a firm, springy dough, and all the ingredients are incorporated. You should now have a ball of dough and very little else in the bowl. Cover with a clean towel or cling wrap and leave in a warm, sunny spot. Yeah, well, we picked the wrong day for this. It's quite sticky. I'm wondering if I should add a bit more flour to it. I may have been a bit mean with the flour, because he says 150 grams of flour, which is 1 cup. He says 3 cups. 1 cup, 150. So that's I put 3 cups. I put 3 cups of flour in. I wonder if maybe it's okay. Maybe it is okay. Look at that. So I believe what we now do, I could put that on my head. What we now do, there we are, look. That looks alright, doesn't it, actually? You could turn this into a
big cigar, man. Nice big fat cigar.
could make it into something phallic. But we won't do that. This is a family show. Bit of juggling. I'm not so good on juggling with one eye anymore. I used to do, you know, a good bit of juggling. I could do this. Floor isn't very clean. You just know this is going to go wrong, don't you? Because I could break it into 3 bits. Just, you know, to entertain. Juggling with one eye, I am not as good as I used to be. But for you guys, because you're so good, juggling with bread dough of different sizes, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Oops, that's why I'm doing it over here, in case I drop them. It's been a while. It's been a while. Anyway, that is it. We've got this. On a side note, if people could chuck more dough at Richard, he can go out and do more trips further afield. Just become a patron. Thank you very much. Anything. Right, 40 people watching. That's more than the average Vobes show. I know. It's so daft. Right, okay, so I have made my bread. I have made my bread, and that's it for this bit. I told you it wouldn't take long. It was hardly worth the effort, really, going live, but hopefully you've all been entertained. And it's past now. I would have just been starting if I'd said come back in half an hour, and we've done it. So I've got to cover this. I've got to cover this with what have I got to do? Cover it with a cloth or something. I wonder if I should just... Right, when the dough is... Wait, hang on. You should now have a ball of dough, little else. Cover with a clean tea towel or cling wrap and leave in a warm sunny spot. So I think what I might do is... And I don't know whether you should do this. It's just put the smidgetest of plain flour. Happens to be self-raising plain flour. Oh, is that what I used before? I may have cocked this up. I think it's supposed to be plain flour, and I think I put self-raising flour in. Or did I put plain? No, I definitely... I may have made a mistake here, ladies and gentlemen. I may have made a big brutal mistake. But anyway, I wanted to stop this from being a bit sticky. Let's not worry about that for the moment. I may have to get some plain flour. So, that's in there like that. Wow, that was brilliant. That ought to go viral. Well done, Richard. Good bread making from Charles. It's like Tom Cruise in Cocktail. Yeah, hey, how about those days? I've actually got some cocktail practice bottles that you do all this. Used to do a bit of that years ago. I can juggle with two eyes because I need them in my head. Oh yeah, I can whip an eye out. Okay, so plain flour. Okay, so I've actually made a bit of a cock up here. I confess this. I have used, I forgot this was self-raising flour. I've used 2 lots of plain flour and 1 of self-raising flour to make up my original thing. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know what they put into self-raising flour to make it self-raising, so that will be interesting. On the door, dear Richard from Charles, usually your oil your dish if anything. Well, because it's going to rise, I don't want it to be sticky, you see. That's why I've just put a bit of on there. Cover it with a clean cloth. I'm not sure if I've got a clean one. This old manky thing, that doesn't look very clean. Put it by a window, I would do that. Oh, the sun is actually sort of out, so I'm going to bang it on my windowsill. And that's it. So what do we then do? Come back in a bit. When the dough has risen to at least twice its former size, knock back by kneading it. This moves the air in the dough caused by the production of carbon dioxide. Oh, carbon dioxide, we don't want that going in the atmosphere. To be distributed through the dough evenly and make for a better second rise. Pull the dough from outside corners into the center of the dough and repeat, and then knead the dough when the heel of your palm, knead it with that. Now place in a pre-greased oven, tin, cover with a cling film, you can't put that in it, and whatever, and shove it in the oven. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to leave that now for a couple of hours, see how it is, and I'll re-knead it. But basically, I won't need to go live on that. This was a test to see if the lead worked. The lead worked, and I may have cocked this one up. But if this doesn't work, I've got more flour. I can get some more plain flour, and ouch, I can do it again. So a little twist on my bad back there. Right. Thank you so much for watching. Hasn't it been fun? Didn't he do well? It's a good game, good game. All right, my love. Let's look at the old floorboard. I'll just go back into the studio. And let's turn that microphone off. And there we are. Back in the studio. Pop out chat. Shove that over there so I can just see what you're saying. Top chat, live chat, no chat. Good chat, excellent. Ramiboo, you should punch down the middle, then pour out into the floured table to knead. Yeah, well, I don't need to do that yet, apparently. Thanks, Richard. It's going to be a bloomer. Do you have any of the red lammas flour? Yes, left. Yes, I do. I do. Here, look. We have... I've only used 2 cups from this one. And I still have this one. So, and I guess this one's still yours, Julia, anyway, because the chap gave us both one each. I've still got yours here. So, if you're going to do some... Yours is over here, baby. Mine is somewhat depleted. So that's okay. Usually you... Oh, yes, I read that. Thanks, Richard. Thanks for the Vobes fix. Do it again tomorrow with a different mix. Yeah, well, oh no, after it rises. What do you, yes, after it rises. Good work. Marvellous. Well, it's all good fun, isn't it? I've got to keep finding ways to amuse and entertain, because that's basically what I do. I'm not really very good at the heritage, landscape and nature, but I'm, reasonable at entertaining. That's really what I do. I get away with a whole load of nonsense mostly because I don't care. But thank you very much. And we will see how it comes out tomorrow. You can always send the odd speck of money if you've got nothing better to do today. If you're a multi-millionaire and you're a bit short, paypal.me/Richard Vobes. It always works. Can't turn it off now. There it is. And we'll see you tonight on the Vobe Show to do the thing, and then you'll be able to give us a call on the Vobe Show as well. Brilliant. I'm going to tidy up the kitchen now and leave you alone for a bit. And I've got some editing to do. I'm going to have some lunch. I'm going to have some soup bread for lunch, and then I'm going to edit up tomorrow's video for the Bald Explorer. So it's all go. Anyway, it was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Something different. Yes, I can rename that. It's no longer a test transmission. It's baking bread, kneading bread, mixing bread. Something like that. Yeah. Okie dokie. Wish you would all stop putting yourself down. Oh, yes. Wish you would stop putting yourself down. Thank you. If I put myself down, then it saves everybody else doing it. It's all right. We get there. We get there. Stay up there. Stay up there. Toodle pip for now. Catch you later. Bye-bye.